And then Let's Go You Dub also pulled up with another super chat. And he says, man, I love me some JJ Watt. But man, I don't think how he's been I don't think how he's been talking is helping TJ any with his holdout. Now, I haven't all the way paid attention to what JJ Watt has been saying. But just knowing how JJ Watt typically champions for his brother, it's probably under the lines of, he's supposed to be the highest paid defender, period. No discussion about that. He's better than Myles Garrett. He's better than Max Crosby. Those are the two guys that are, the marquee dollar amounts right now from a defensive standpoint. So, yeah, it's pretty simple. If those guys are getting 40 and the other one's getting, 38 and a half or whatever, then yeah, all right, time to go ahead and bump TJ, make sure he's the new highest paid defender. Even if it's by $1 more, that needs to be the case. Now, in terms of TJ, yes, if you're in his corner, that most definitely is the approach that you want to take and the stance that you have, because you know how short-lived careers are, and especially if you're JJ Watt, you think about some of the injuries that he sustained throughout his playing professional career and how, he had to deal with some of those recoveries and stuff like that. So when you think of that part, I know me also seeing the Ryan Shazier element of it. It's like, it really hits home with how you are one play away. So understanding that is most definitely why JJ would be in his ear and ultimately publicly and privately pushing him towards, maximizing his profit, getting as much as you can get. But from a team standpoint, especially in a salary cap league like the NFL is, that necessarily isn't the best approach for the team. Because if one guy is generating or one guy is taking up such a large sum of the cap, now we have less resources to allocate other places. And you become so dependent on one player that if he plays bad, if he gets sick, if he gets injured or anything goes wrong, now you feel like you are wasting that money versus effectively using every single dollar to the best of its ability, man. So for me, man, that's, kind of why I'm torn with it. Me personally knowing TJ, I'm like, I want to see TJ get every dollar he deserves. But then me also being a fan of the squad, it's like, man, I want the team to be able to have other pieces around them and also do certain things that are going to make them be the best going forward. And that can't necessarily be paying TJ Watt the blank check. So we're kind of in that, all right, who's going to compromise a little bit? Who's going to give a little bit? But, that's kind of why I'm at with it, because if you're TJ Watt, TJ has earned every single dollar that he is asking for. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If we want to complain with anybody, point the fingers at Vegas, point the fingers at Cleveland, because they paid Max Crosby and they paid Myles Garrett what they paid them dudes. But for TJ, it's like, man, you got to decide, do you want to get the most for yourself, or do you want to do what's, going to be best case scenario for you while still making sure that the team has a chance to survive? And I think that that's what he has to internally deal with as well. And it's not easy when you talk about change, when you talk about big changes at quarterback, at coordinator, when you talk about, all right, do you think that this team has a chance to actually make noise in the postseason? These are all the things that TJ has to internally process and internally think on to decide if he wants to stay here long term or not. Because if he feels like that's not going to be the case and he's getting towards the back end of his career, then yeah, keep asking for a number that's so high that the team is forced to ultimately move on from you. And now you ultimately can get to a better situation. But if you feel like, man, I really want to stay here, but I just want to get the biggest number that I can get while being here, well, heck yeah, man, do the negotiation thing. You know how it goes. Play the game until the end. And after that, man, find that number that compromises for both parties and let's keep it moving in the black and gold. But this is, I don't fault JJ Watt ultimately, though, man. I can't fault him because, like I said, from the player's perspective, I can only imagine if this is little brother on top of that. I'm definitely like, yo, bro, get the bag. I don't care. With loyalty, get the bag, man. It's a business. You know what I mean? So that's the part where I'm kind of torn with it, man. But shout out the Let's Go You Dub, man. Getting us right